Welcome back to 5 Minute Game Reviews with me, Gardner, where I rant and rave about whatever game I just finished on stream last week. Today, we're talking about Batman Arkham City. Batman Arkham City is, let me just start this off by saying, it's not my favorite game of all time. It's a really good game, and I'm hoping to finish it completely through all the DLCs and find all the hidden missions and everything in it. But from what I've played through the whole main story, it's a really good game. There's not much that it does wrong, from storytelling to world building to combat to exploration. It has everything, and for being an open world game, it's not a game that limits itself to just one specific area. Even with its experience leveling in the game, it does that really well, where it requires you, as you're fighting, you don't get XP for finding hidden achievements. You get experience for actually doing combat, which is how it should be. And as you do the combat, how you do your combat and how many gadgets and different ways that you defeat the enemy is how you get your experience levels. That's super cool. The combat in this game is smooth. For the use of only technically 2 buttons, you only need left click to attack, right click to dodge, or not dodge, block. But those 2 buttons gets you through 90% of the game. And it's so smooth when you're fighting. I don't think I've ever felt anything as smooth as maybe, let's say, Spider-Man. And I feel like Spider-Man copied this game in its fighting style. Because as long as you're facing the enemy, any attack that you do instantly connects. And anytime you see the enemy about to punch you, and they have the warning signals above their head, the minute you activate the ability, it does a quick time event and it vaults you over their head. And you can instantly go in and use whatever combo you're doing next into them. It's honestly the best fighting that I've seen in video game, next to Spider-Man. Not even God of War, next to Spider-Man. The combat is generally simple, meaning that the game isn't hard. You can put it on the hardest difficulty, but as long as you understand how the enemies attack and the unique clues that they have, you should be able to get through it relatively simple. But if you're putting yourself on like the medium setting, you'll breeze through this game no problem. You might have some difficulties on maybe the harder fights, but not really. I didn't really find any difficulty with that. I think I only died maybe like a couple times on like the hardest boss, but that was... Next to combat is gadgets. The gadgets in this game they're not really meant for combat. They're mainly meant for exploration and movement. So we have our standard batarang, we have our grappling hook, and our blast jelly that allows you to get behind hidden walls, and our radio control batarang that allows you to hit unique objects on the other side of the map. These gadgets can be used in combat, but they're not really meant for damage dealing. They're meant for, let me get out of this sticky situation really quickly and evade and find a nice decent place to start doing my combos. Next to combat and gadgets, let's talk experience. Because the experience is very unique, and I don't think I've ever really seen this in any other game before. The XP that you gain in this game, it doesn't unlock like a tech tree. It just get enough points, unlock an ability, and you unlock Batman's arsenal. And you can pick and choose whether to unlock his ability or Black Cat or Catwoman's, Robin's, or Nightwing's. You get to play as all 4 through the game, but you'll mainly play as Batman or Catwoman. The story of Batman is about Bruce Wayne protesting Arkham City, because at the time Arkham City is being used as a prison for all the bad guys or the supervillains in the city. Batman gets himself captured, thrown inside Arkham City, and he has to work his way to defeating Hugo Strange, the actual overseer of the prison. Along his way, we meet Catwoman, Joker, Harley Quinn. You even get to play as Catwoman and Harley Quinn in the DLC, and Robin and Nightwing. They're also here. Each character has their own unique storyline, and each character has different unique abilities, different ways of getting about the city, and different storylines throughout the game. A lot of open world games do this thing where they'll either make the game really, really huge and put all these unique and interesting points on the map and tell you to go here, have fun, enjoy, find over what's in that location right there. This game is all about using the clues that the game gives you to actually find all the unique stuff on the map. Nothing is ever shown to you. Nothing will ever be given to you in this game. You have to go find it yourself, which I honestly appreciate. More open world games should do that generally. Going through this game, you get absorbed into it, which is what an open world game should feel like. It should never make you feel like you're detached from the world. This game does an excellent job of dragging you into it because of how the movement mechanics work. That's the thing. The movement mechanics, there are no vehicles, so the only way to get around is basically by walking and climbing up buildings and hopping from rooftop to rooftop to your next location. You have one, I wouldn't even call it so much a movability. It's more like Breath of the Wild's hang glider, but even that is a better vehicle than the glider that you get in Batman. Batman, he gets to glide around the city, but it's not for that far and it's not for that long. It's basically just to get you from one rooftop to the next rooftop, or from one open area to the next open area in a reasonable amount of time without actually meeting any hiccups. This game does a really good job of putting you in a situation where